Welcome to part 2 of our supplemental video series. This will be preparing for and installing Dream Report. I will be using the tutorial manual starting on page 17 if you want to turn to that particular page on your copy of it. So log on as the user administrator. Note that I am already logged on as the administrator here. If you're following along, you should do that as the very first step. Next, we'll install IIS, and the way you do that is there are several ways to get to IIS, but you can go to Programs, uninstall a program, turn Windows features off and on, and we'll expand this here so you can see a little bit better. All of these need to be checked. And under World Wide Web Services, we need these checked. So make sure those are checked. Choose OK. Next, what we'll install is Microsoft Office. I have already installed Microsoft Office. As you can see, we've got PowerPoint on here, Microsoft Word, and these would be needed, especially if you want to look at your XLS reports. You can use OpenOffice as well. You don't have to use a Microsoft product if you don't want to. Again, this installation is optional. Next, we will be installing Adobe Reader 10, and I've got it on a local drive. And we'll just install this. This, of course, is needed to view any of the reports you create in PDF format, and you can also print them as well through the Adobe Reader. Again, this may take longer on your machine if you're following along because I'm using an SSD. And the next item is we're going to install SQL Server 2008 R2 Express. And you can install the 64-bit or the 32-bit, it doesn't make any difference. We'll make a new installation. Now, the reason I'm going through all of these installation procedures is that you should probably note the settings that I am using for this tutorial. You'll want to probably duplicate them as needed for your own machine. Right now I'm on page 20 of the tutorial manual. Select all of the features and install them. Next, create a named instance. The default name that they give you should be just fine. You can use the network authority. I generally use the system authority. And then choose Next. On this selection page, we want to choose mixed mode security for our tutorial. However, you can choose whatever you need to set up the security properly when you install it on your particular machine at a later time when we're not doing the tutorial. So in this particular case, this is for the SA account, and give it a password that you can remember easily. and move on. And the features will be installed as you've selected them there. So we open up Management Studio, add in our machine name, or you can use local, which works just as well, and then SQL Express. And we're going to use our SQL Server authentication, the SA and the password that you put in. And there we are, connected, and the databases. Okay, so we're going to add two databases. The first one is PC Demo Mod Project. I'll just copy this here. And the second database is Dream Report Logging. I'll copy this one as well. New database, paste it, which is okay. And now we have our two databases. The first one is for the InduSoft project, and the second one is for the real-time values that Dream Report is going to save, and the other databases that it needs. The next step we're going to do is on page 28. It's the installation of IWS. To install the redistributables. Note in the manual, page 28, that it says that the IWS project must be in runtime before you can do any configurations in Dream Report. You don't have to do it during the installation of Dream Report, but during any time when you are configuring reports, doing report building, running the sample reports or any reports you've built, InduSoft Web Studio must be in runtime, because that's where the data comes from, the report data comes from. And if Dream Report can't connect to it, even in development time, you'll get an error. While this is finishing up, I'll get the Dream Report zip file that containing the projects. Let's wait until this is finished, or you should be able to access it. And unzip the projects. And note here that there's the original PC demo that was included with the InduSoft installation. And now there is a folder here called the tutorial projects. There's a new one called PC Demo Batches Build 2012-1031. Our next step is to open InduSoft Web Studio, We'll run this in evaluation mode. Go to the PC Demo mod application. At this point, go to your project options. This is already saved as a local interface, so we won't have a full screen bothering us. In your own project, you might have something else, but for the sake of this demo, since we don't actually refer to InduSoft Web Studio very often, we'll just keep this as a local interface. We'll configure this. Note that I did use local SQL Express, so it should automatically hook up. Re-enter your password. Then we'll select the database on the server, PC Demo Mod Project here. Test connection, it should work now. Remember to enter your new password because the credentials are not saved in the project. Okay, we're good to go with the database. We will start the project, and that should look familiar to you if you know the PC demo project. However, there are a few changes that have been made. On this particular home page, notice that a button has been added here, and this is a button that we'll use at a later time. If you push it, and since Stream Report is not installed at this particular point, this will time out after a bit because it can't reach the Dream Report information, and you'll get an error that says no response from Dream Report. Okay, so moving on, we press here to continue. This is at the bottom of page 31, and our first screen is oil and gas. Notice that there is a similar button here that's been added. Press automotive to continue. On the automotive screen, I've created a generate event so we can generate some historical events and see them in our Dream Report. So if you just push the button as it is, it says you must turn to manual first. So we do that. And what happened is the robot arm goes to these coordinates, and the event is then sent to the database. Put that back in manual now, and you'll continue on. Push the wind energy to continue. There is a new button that's been added right here, and I'm now on page 33 at the top. This will generate a report out of the sample reports that we've built that will have some wind information on it. Push here to continue on the food and beverage. On this particular page, this was a batch process that did not actually generate batch information, but now it does. If you attempt to exit the application, you'll also get this this question or this comment about waiting till the batch is finished. That's so that all the batch information is written to the database, and then the application will exit. Going back then to food and beverage, this is where we left off, and the next button that we choose is water and wastewater, and this will generate, this button here will generate a water and wastewater report later on when we get to it. You can just minimize all this stuff here, go back to SQL Server, and see actually what is in the database. PC demo, tables, and you can see that InduSoft has created all the tables that are needed. There's a batch history table that will show you all the batch information, the batch name, the start times, the end times for it, and what trend that the data is in, which happens to be this one right here. So we can look and see what is here for all that batch data. Notice it has bottle 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm also trending the timestamp, and this is calculated stuff here. So we've done all this stuff. We've looked at all these pages, and this is what I showed you in the SQL Server Enterprise Manager query table. And then notice the stop sign here. If you get any results that are different than what I've shown you here, then go back and fix it now. Okay, so our next step is a Dream Report installation. I've already got this downloaded locally on the machine. We'll run it as an administrator. Again, I'm on page 37 of the manual. And if you did not install IIS, you would have gotten an error by now. So we continue on, say yes, install it to the default directory. Notice that the InduSoft driver is already selected for you, and there are no other selections for any other drivers available for you. We want to restart our computer, log on with administrator credentials, and we're ready to go again.